What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Tian. I'm a medical student in the UK, and actually this will be my last week as a medical student, which is why I'm making this vlog. I want to bring you guys along with me to spend this last week. Now, in this last week, I don't know what to think. That's why I want to pick up the camera and just record as authentically as possible, because I don't know, I think there'll be a lot of reflections, there'll be a lot of spontaneous thoughts that will occur to me, which I want to just have it on camera so I can watch it years later. So if you like that idea, follow me along and join me on this week. The graduation is on Friday, so that's 4 days away, and my parents are here and we have finally just settled into the new city where I'll be working as a junior doctor. It's called Reading. It's a small city near London and it's pretty nice. So my plan now is to get home, sit on the balcony, and I'll tell you all about my first national conference that I attended, which is so exciting, so fantastic, and I've learned so much. So I can't wait to tell you all about it. Alright, so let me tell you all about BIPA, which stands for British Indian Psychiatric Association. This week I attended their 2025 National Annual Conference. It was such a pleasant surprise. It was the first ever national conference I've attended as a medical student, and I didn't think I was going to attend to any. I'm so convinced that there's no other conference that I'm going to attend that's going to top that. So how did I know about this? Well, I've got this mentor that I was so fortunate to meet during my psychiatric placement in my third year of medical school in the University of Buckingham. And she's a consultant psychiatrist and she specializes in forensic psychiatry. I've met so many mentors obviously in my life, and as a medical student you basically learn from people more senior than you. Some of those people are great mentors because they are so kind and caring and they encourage you, and others are great mentors because they can be strict and they expect a lot from you and they push you beyond your comfort zone. But this particular mentor that I've met is probably the only person who's both. She's pushed me beyond my boundaries, she held high expectations from me, but she's also funny and caring and encouraging, and she's so good at encouraging that she's made me do extra work without me realizing, and I really wanted to. So under her guidance I submitted my abstract. So if you don't know, for these academic conferences, a few months before the conference actually happens, they will put out posts that ask for medical students and junior doctors to write abstracts. So these are like a summary of a project or a little research that you've recently been doing, and if they find that little summary very interesting, then they would invite you to create a poster which will be basically exhibited at the conference, and there's a little competition as well in the end. Basically, if you present your poster really well, then you get a little prize. There's also an essay competition. So I consider myself a creative at times because I write my scripts for my YouTube and I like writing in general. So there was a title about how diaspora organizations like this association itself can help shape the global psychiatric practice in the digital age, and I thought that was a very, very interesting topic. So I wrote something as well. It was a few thousand words and I submitted as well. Now I didn't know if it was good enough at all. I have no idea, because I've written essays before and the best I've gotten was probably a third place in one of the Royal College competitions. So I had no expectations at all. And then I went to the conference, I forgot all about this. I did put my poster up and I presented as well as I could, but the conference itself was basically a big family, and I never expected that from an academic conference. I was just meeting new people one after another and everyone was so friendly, and I was greeted by a lovely lady who I later found out was actually the president of this whole association, and she was also like the CEO of an NHS trust. So, and I could never have that link in my mind because she was so humble and she was so friendly. She invited me, and she basically initiated a conversation with me. And during the whole thing, I even had the pleasure to meet the Dean of the Royal College of Psychiatrists. And again, Professor Dave, he was so down to earth and there was so much humanity that I would never expect. I mean, obviously you're watching this and this is not like me telling them as if I'm being professional. So it's just like a personal talk, right? So I would actually never expect someone so high up. I know I shouldn't say that, but I wouldn't expect someone so high up to be so humble. Like he was just, it almost felt like he was like an old friend, like an uncle or something. And yeah, and my mentor, who I've already hyped so up now, like she's awesome. So she took me to meet this dean of the Royal College, and I stood there, and he was just smiling and being very comfortable and friendly, and I got so comfortable that in the end, he wanted to shake my hand. I think he just wanted to say like, it was lovely to meet you, and my brain, without my consent, wanted to give him a fist bump, and I saw my hand in a fist. And I immediately froze because I was like, what am I doing? And he actually met me with another fist bump and he laughed. And I just thought, thank God, like I could have just ruined my career. Well, I mean, we live in a democratic society, no, but it wouldn't be professional at all. But it's just, and then when I came back, I was reflecting upon that. I just thought that was such a great lesson. Like no matter how high up you go, like that's probably the reason why he's so successful. That's probably the reason why like he can be the leader of like massive organizations and colleges, because he's so humble. And I think sometimes in life, when we even like in medical school, like when you go from second year to third year, and then you look at the second years, you're like, oh yeah, they're kids, and like what do you want to know? I'll teach you. Like what do you want to know about exams? I'll teach you. You'll be fine. Like we already act in a way that we feel like we got a little bit power as we progress. But then seeing him and seeing his wife, who's also the president, like the couple and my mentor, like everyone was so down to earth and just so willing to invite me, who's like the most junior person you could find in that massive conference room of like hundreds of consultants. And everyone was just so kind and lovely. Everyone was smiling. It was just such a lovely environment. It was so inspiring. So yeah, I felt like it was so worth it. I would have never thought that was like the last highlight of my medical school career. I thought it was over. I thought it was going to be the graduation, but it was actually this. So I'll probably put like a little clip of me attending or something, or like the logo of the conference. So if you're a medical student and if you're interested in psychiatry, I would definitely recommend this conference. It's a national conference and it was amazing. And I actually got first prize in both the poster presentation and the essay, and it was crazy. It felt like I was like, when I went up, it was like a prize ceremony, and the whole thing was like an Indian wedding, and they put a traditional what do you call, like a shawl, like an Indian scarf. I'm sorry, like I'll put a picture of that over my shoulders for each of the prize. And in the moment, I forgot I was at an academic conference. I felt like I was just being accepted into this massive, lovely Indian community, like an Indian family. And I forgot I was at one of the most prestigious academic conferences you can have in the UK. And the whole experience just humbled me so much. And I also met quite a few people. One of the people I met who really left a deep impression in my mind was a doctor, and she's an SHO. So we call that senior house officer in the UK. Basically, it's she's finished her foundation training, but she's yet to go into her specialty training, and she works in a job that's relevant to psychiatry. And she's given me so many tips and advice on working as a junior doctor. She was so lovely as well. She actually approached me first in the morning, and yeah, it was such a humbling experience. And another person I met I wanted to mention was a year 3 student from the same university that I come from, and we actually spent hours just chatting in the afternoon, and we just sat there and we were just talking about life. We talked about a few deep topics, which I really, really enjoyed. It was such a stimulating conversation. And what I got out of that conversation is I was able to invite her to my podcast because we talked about medical student mental health, and I told her I was running this podcast right now, and it's all about talking to people about mental health and talking to experts on mental health, but also people who live with experiences with mental health in the medical profession. And she was happy to come on this podcast, so that's exciting. And yeah, it's just this way of networking that I never actually experienced before. There were many stalls in the conference, like sponsors, I guess, that you can go up to them and they would tell you about their business and what they're doing, and you can take a leaflet. And this year 3 medical student who's younger than me, and she asked me she didn't see me go up to these things to talk to them. And I was like, you know what, I only like to talk to people that I find interesting, and I didn't really feel like it was an interesting thing to do, to talk to these people, because I didn't think I would get much out of it. And then she just said, but you never thought about how much we would have talked about, and you could invite me to your podcast and we could have talked about mental health and how we stress during exams. All of these topics that you enjoyed just now, you didn't actually thought about asking me that when you first met me, did you? I was like, no. And she was like, that's why you should approach, and there's something interesting from talking to anyone. And I thought that was so true, because I just went silent. I think I was kind of in a defense mode still when she was asking me that in the first place. I gave my answer saying I'm not interested, and then I realized, oh yeah, I should be more open-minded, and that's the whole point of coming to these conferences. And I actually got to meet a lot of people during that conference, and that's the one thing that stuck with me from this student who's still younger than me. And yeah, so that was just such a pure, wholesome reflection. And I just sat there. I was like, you know what, you're right. I should probably talk to more people because I paid for it. Obviously, I don't think I should mention who my mentor is, and because I haven't asked for this permission. But I really just felt so grateful for her guidance and for her pushing me to do this. And hopefully, I can get her to be on my podcast. I'm inviting everyone onto my podcast right now. But yeah, I think this is extremely exciting time to live in as a doctor and as a medical profession. I get to talk to so many people. Just today I had a meet and greet with one of the authors of one of the books I'm reading, and he pretty much talks about if there's a overdiagnosing trend in psychiatry where we are giving labels to everyone who felt like they were emotionally unwell, and we were just giving them a label of you have depression, you have anxiety, you have ADHD, and is that right? Should we medicate everyone? And these are very, very exciting topics to discuss, and more exciting if it's to discuss it with an expert who's written a book on it, who's a consultant psychiatrist who's practiced in this field for years. And yeah, I just never thought so many people would say yes to come on to my podcast. I know I haven't posted more than one episode, but I promise you they're coming, and I've met a lot of amazing people, and I'm so excited to talk to them. And I know I'm speaking this YouTuber way, but I'm genuinely very excited. Now, this week isn't just about work. My parents are here, and we are planning to enjoy this beautiful weather before I actually start my work, and I'll be really hectic and busy trying to fit my podcasting, YouTuber, and 8-hour shifts all into one life. So now we're planning to take some time off and just have some family time, and tomorrow we're going golfing. And me and my dad golfs, and I kind of just picked it up when I was very young. And then my mom, being a very enthusiastic member of our family, also picked up golfing, and now we can all go golfing together. So that's crazy good. So maybe I'll put some clips in, but maybe I'll leave it as a family bonding time, and we'll see. But on Thursday, I have a podcast, so I very much want to record that and show you my thought process and how I feel on Thursday, because this podcast is a very new thing, and I'm not going to lie to you, I have a lot of uncertainties around running this podcast and keep it going when my work actually starts, because I know it's going to be quite hectic. I know it's going to be stressful, but also do not want that to be an excuse for me to give up on what I want to do. I love talking to people. It's stimulating, it's exciting. So I want to record my experience of recording a podcast on Thursday and then posting it, editing it. I think that's going to be really cool. And on Friday, we have our graduation. And I actually don't know what to think. Like, I know I should be excited, but also I'm very scared because that's gonna be like officially the last day of me being a medical student after 5 years of exams and studying and everything. So yeah, very emotional time, but I think we can do this. It is now Thursday, and we have a episode to record on the podcast in about 2 minutes. So I'm just going to create a link. So I use this software called Riverside. So it's been working quite well so far. I'm just going to create a link and I'm going to send it to my guest. And hopefully he's going to join in a bit. And now my coffee is just ready. So let me just go grab that real quick. So I've got this very simple setup. For my podcast, everything is basically on Amazon. You know, it's all about the content, and I keep telling myself to come back to being myself when I'm either doing this vlog or I'm running this podcast. There's no point pretending this is it, like a multi-million-dollar podcast, is it? So I'm just doing what I can and focusing on having genuine conversations. There. I was gonna go over to the Zoom to let you know because it's my fault. I sent it to you too late. Yeah, so this is what goes on. So right now I have my guest. I've said hi to him, but we run into some technical difficulties. But the good thing is we already know each other. So this is the thing. No one knows what they're doing, and we're both trying to figure it out. So what happened was I created a link, and I was the host, and then I accidentally quit and I rejoined as a guest, so I don't know who is controlling. I don't have the option to record, so now we have to recreate a new link and I will be the host for that and I'll share that link to him again. So we're just doing that now, but hopefully it's all gonna work out. And that was the end of the recording for the podcast. It was so warm. It's so warm. I have to turn the fan off, and it was just the room was just really warm. The place I lived in before, we had windows that go from like the south to the north, so the wind goes through and it's quite cool actually. But now the flat I live in, I've just got a window on this side and it's just boiling. I'm just boiling. But thankfully the recording's finished and we actually had a nice chat after the recording, and I'm just so grateful for the people who agree to speak to me on these podcasts, because I have to keep reminding myself, this is what we talked about in the end, like I keep reminding myself to be myself and be authentic and ask the questions that I want to ask. So I'm a lot more casual on these podcasts than, you know, those official, like the big ones that you would see on YouTube. I'm just literally a dude interested in things that I'm interested in, sharing the stories I've had. So like one thing that I asked this Stuart, who is our doctor of psychology, who specializes in sleep and CBT for insomnia. So one thing I asked him was literally like, oh yeah, I tried this ketogenic diet one day for a week and I couldn't sleep at all. Is there a link between diet and sleep? And that honestly just stems from my curiosity. And a different thing I asked him was about coffee, because I'm a chronic coffee drinker. I drink so much coffee that it almost feels like, I don't know, I'm drinking coffee like water. So that's another thing I asked him. And another thing I asked him was about how I couldn't sleep one day because I had to go to a psychiatry hospital. I was so excited, and the more I try to go to bed, the less I can do it, and I keep looking at my clock to see I've got 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, yeah, whatever, let's just get up and let's just have a banana and go out. Like, those are my real experiences, and then when I ask people about these, they can give me an answer and they can inspire me. I'm very grateful for that experience. And you can call it a podcast, you can call it a vlog, you can call it, I mean, this format is a podcast, but obviously it's just a conversation. It's just a conversation of me trying to do something, trying to find out some answers, trying to improve my mental health, and bring you guys along with it. That's just my hassle, if you want to call it. But I absolutely do not want to make it into a second full-time job on top of the fact that I'm working full-time as a doctor already. And also, this is the only way I can keep doing this. So, very pleasant conversation. Now the job is to export the raw footage of this recording and edit it, take out all the bits that I messed up. I mean, his answers were perfect, but when I introduced him, my phone ran and it ruined a bit. I have to cut it out, put in some captions, upload it on YouTube, and that's it. I'm not gonna think about it. I have a lot of takeaways from this conversation. I met someone I can call my mentor, and maybe I'll talk to him again. And the rest of it is just, that's it. Tomorrow I've got my graduation. I'm excited for that. Hopefully I can sleep better with all the advice I've gotten from this podcast. Great success. I'll see you tomorrow. That was the podcast done, edited, ready to be posted. Here just now I shot the introduction for that podcast because I figured, you know what, I want to keep it as authentic as possible. I want to keep it as raw as I can. So I don't want everything to look like I'm doing it in a studio, I'm trying to be a professional. No, that is my part-time, that is my full-time job, that is my 9-to-5 job as a doctor. I've had enough of that. So I'm going to keep this personal, casual, and authentic. And that's basically for today. The rest of my day will be kept as private, and tomorrow I will bring you guys along my graduation. Hopefully I'll meet some people that I haven't met in quite a few months, and I'll say hi to them. It's going to be cool, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be extremely hot as well, which I don't know if I enjoy that bit, but we'll see you tomorrow.
The sunrise hits my face like pouring whiskey on a fire. Woke up with a t-shirt on, I'm pretty sure belongs to...
What is up, guys? And now today is the graduation day, and the only word I can think about is hot.
Me.
And this is Reish. How are you feeling?
I am good.
Very stressed about what? This is our big day.
I'm stressed that I'm going to fall on stage and accidentally.
Yeah, visualize it, guys. Yes, I don't know if it's okay to not wear a suit blazer, but it's just too hot. I can't. Just a shirt.
Just a shirt.
Yeah, just a shirt. And yeah, all good. Thank you. But you look very pretty.
Thank you. You're very handsome.
So let's see. Today we're gonna meet some people. I can't wait to meet one of my best friends, Venkat,
He
and
looks very good actually.
he's
wearing
gonna
dark
bring a big
clothes.
smile on all of our faces. Yeah, that's it.
Gonna
That's this is
dinner.
dinner.
Cake.
Ooh, can't wait for the cake. More calories. Yes.
It's a day of celebration.
That's true. You're right. We're gonna have some cake. Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah, everyone's mingling around. Yes. Okay, I'll catch you guys later.
Every time, every shot, every dance that I do, and I do it all again.